Hello, good people of the internet. My name is Annex, and welcome to a Let's Play of Hearts of Iron 3 with the Semper Fi and For the Motherland expansions installed. Let's get going. I'm not 100% sure what country I'd like to play as right now. Let's figure it out. I was thinking possibly as playing as South Africa, but then I thought that's not really fun for a Let's Play. They're a bit small, you know. My plan was to join the Axis and sort of take over British South Africa and Madagascar, but I think that's going to be a bit too slow, and I think that I'm going to play as Italy. I'd like to play as Japan eventually, but supposedly they're one of the harder countries to play because, you know, they've got to take the Dutch East Indies, and they've got the border aggression with the United States, and got to take over nationalist China and Burma, so and possibly Australia. So it's a pretty hard country to play as because they don't have a lot of their own natural resources. So I think that the best route would be to play as Italy. I want to play as one of the main powers, you know, the United Kingdoms, Germany, France, US, Japan, Soviet Union, and Italy. And Italy is one of the smaller of those options. I suppose I could play as France, but they get attacked by Germany and Italy pretty early on into the war, and you know that's not too fun, and they're one of the harder ones to play as well. So I think Italy is the way to go. You know, our head of state isn't Mussolini yet, so maybe he won't get elected, or maybe he's our head of government. I can't remember. So we're a fascist republic. We're at war with whom? I think we're at war with Ethiopia, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to be taking control of everything. I'm going to have everything be on normal. So difficulty normal, game mode normal. Let's get into it. I've never played as Italy before. I have about 40 hours logged on this game, and if you guys do not know what this game is, it is a World War II grand strategy game. It's a pretty awesome game. You can play as any country in the world, as you just saw from the campaign map, and here we are. The game is paused. It is pretty much real time, and I keep pressing the WASD keys like I'm in Total War. Been playing that too much. And this Let's Play, I just want you to know, will not slow down my Total War Let's Play. I still want to be pumping out a lot of that every day. I'll be uploading some of that after I'm done with this recording session. So I believe we're at war with Ethiopia. Let's check our diplomacy tab. At war with Ethiopia. So I'm going to go through all the tabs and sort of explain them. The first tab I like to go through is the diplomacy tab. I like to go through the tabs in order at the beginning of the game. So we're at war with Ethiopia. Our highest threat is Germany, apparently. Our neutrality is 60, which means we can declare war on people who are threatening us. It's our time. So these are down here is our national decisions. And I'm going to select automated trade, which allows the AI to sort of find good trade partners for us and make trade agreements with them without us having to do that. We can still make our own trade agreements, but it's sort of hard to, you know, stop every 5 minutes, look through all the countries and see what resources they need and what resources they have and what resources we need and what resources we have excess of. So it's just easier to check that. So it's our time. We can select any of these and they'll give us something. So I have to be at war with the United Kingdom to do this one. I have to be at war, and I have to not control Tripoli, Misrata, Benghazi, or Trobuch. Sorry if I butcher things. And this is the train runs on time, and PNF does not have, so none of these I can pick. We don't have the ability to pick any of these right now, and a little thing will come up here if we do have national decisions to make. So let's look at the Axis. The first thing you want to do is you want to find the faction that you want to ally yourselves with, and you want to find their leader. So the leader of the Axis is obviously Germany. The leader of the not the United Kingdom, the Allies is the United Kingdom, and the leader of the Comintern is the Soviet Union. And you want to find that leader, and you want to click Align to Faction. And that's going to mean that basically down here, which is this triangle, and it has this blue corner is the Allies, this red corner is the Comintern, and this black corner is the Axis. And if we find ourselves Italy, we should actually have to reopen the diplomacy tab. Italy, we are very close to the Axis. In fact, I believe we really wanted to. No, we just sent a diplomat out. So a diplomat, not a diplomat. Sorry. Production. I'm quite tired. I've just been on a 2.5 hour hike earlier today in the mountains, so I'm quite tired. So if my commentary is not the best, don't blame me. And oh my god, we have 115 industrial capacity. That is crazy. Basically, 150, your industrial capacity represents how much you can do in these different sort of areas. So this is we can use our industrial capacity to upgrade our troops. We can use it to reinforce our troops. We can use it to make supplies, which we will end up sending to our troops. We can use it for production, which is mostly to build troops. You can also build more industrial capacity, anti-aircraft guns, radars, nuclear reactors, rocket test sites, convoys, escorts, and if we're at war and someone is holding part of our territory, we can train underground resistance cells, which is something that's new in the for the Motherland expansion pack. And with consumer goods, basically it just makes our people happier. You see, this is our descent level, which is basically how happy our people are. We want to keep that at 0. It can't go above 0. Well, we want to keep it at 0. It can go above 0, but it can't go below 0. So you want to keep this at 0 by keeping consumer goods at the need level. You want to keep supplies at the need level and reinforcement at the need level. And also you want to keep upgrades at the need level. You want to keep everything at the need level if you can possibly do that. If you have an excess of, say, supplies, you can put your supplies below the need level for a time being. See, right now our production needs is only 9. And when we unpause the game, we should get some reinforcement need. But for now, let's produce some stuff. I'm possibly considering, I mean, it's important. Building a new industrial capacity is important so that when we do go to a larger war, I'm not really counting the war with Ethiopia as a large war. We should win it within the first couple of months, maybe even within the first month. So you can see the date up here. It's January 1st, 1936. So I'm going to go parallel, which means I'm going to build I want to build 2 industrial capacities at the same time, and that will take 13 months, and then I'll have both of them, which will raise my industrial capacity to something higher. So I'm going to go start production, and we can produce that. Also, well, let's have a look at our military situation. This is our central HQ, which goes off to all these other HQs. We go, see, this is the Commando Superior. And then this is the East, West, Tobruk HQ, which leads down to the Armata del AOI, and this is the Armata del the Corpo de Armata Libiso. And I can rename those if I want, but I probably won't be bothered. I'm just going to call this the North Africa HQ, and I'm going to call this the Northern Somalia HQ, and this the Southern Somalia HQ for you guys. So back to the production tab. We still this is nice. Commando Superior, I guess I'll just call it the Superior Command. That's going to make everything easier. Is asking for these things to be built. So 1 interceptor, 33 light armor, and 3 tactical bombers. And if I go build, it's going to queue all of those up, but that needs 228 industrial capacity to get. So what we'll do is we're going to delete some of these armor brigades, because I don't think we need so many armor brigades until we get down to a reasonable size. I do want to bolster my Air Force because it's quite important, but I don't think we need quite this many. So Air Force is actually really expensive. So actually, so we got an interceptor and 3 tactical bombers. I'm gonna go with Oh, that's still too much. Well, for now, we'll just build that interceptor and some of these divisions of these armored divisions. Because it would be good to get some armored divisions. Armored divisions are quite a good thing to have. Though they are quite expensive to make. I don't think we're going to... So, for now, and I'm going to put my excess industrial capacity and supplies, because I like to, you know, build up a lot of supplies before the war starts. That way I can put everything in production when the war starts and really pump out a lot of guys. And in reinforcements. Reinforcements is really important once you start losing units. So the next tab is the technology tab, and this is our leadership. And our base value is 2, but because we have politician who has the man of the people thing, ability, I guess you could say, we get plus 5%, and because of our massive education investment policy, we get plus 20%, and from our improved technologies, we get plus 5%, which I believe is the education level 2 gives us 5%. No, the education level 1 gives us plus 5%. Education level 2 gives us plus 10%. So what I like to do is, since we're how much this number up here is the percentage of officers we have to have to sort of support our country. And this is a really complex game. So this is the number of officers we need to support our military, which is 12,190, but we only have 12,132. So that's 99% of the officers we need, and this is the tab that builds new officers. We're currently building 21.4 officers each day, which is a bit much. I'm going to put it at, you know, when I'm playing a smaller country, I like to put it at 2 or 1, but I think I'm going to, you know, double that. So put it at 4, maybe even 5, actually. 5 is good. 5 officers a day. If I can get it right, these sliders are a little bit finicky. And that should be enough for now, since we're not recruiting a whole lot of people. Our aerial unit will need quite a bit of officers, you know. I think most people who fly planes are officers. Diplomacy, this is how much diplomatic influence we can build each day. We currently have 15, and this is used to construct trade agreements, you know, send out diplomats, that sort of thing. So we're currently getting 2.25 diplomatic influence a day, and I can lower this to about 1, and I should be fine. And espionage, this is how many spies we're making each day. We're making 0.29, and I'm going to lower this to about 0.10. So we'll get a spy, actually, 0.15. So we'll get a spy. I'm not amazing at math, so I'm not going to tell you how many spies we'll get out, however many days. And we'll work on 8.43 projects. So this means that we'll work on 8 projects full, and then a 9th project at 50% efficiency. So that's a lot of decisions to make. I really want to get the, well, you know, desert warfare equipment would be good to have. We're going to be doing a lot of fighting in the desert, so in order to get that, we need to get all of these to 2. So we'll queue all of these up so we can get desert warfare equipment, which will be important as playing as Italy. Armor, we can study some armor stuff. We are going to want to build some armor soon enough, so maybe we'll study some of that. But what's also really important is getting these 2 from right off the bat. These are going to increase our industrial production and our industrial efficiency. So how much we can produce and the speed at which we produce it are important to get. And rocket test sites, not right away. Maybe education. Yeah, I think we're going to... No, agriculture. This increases our manpower, which is basically how many, you know, military-aged men we have to recruit into our army. And this will increase our manpower plus 40%, and it's only it's currently plus 30%, so it'll basically be increasing it by 10%, which is pretty good. So agriculture is a very important one to get off right off the bat. So we've got 1.5 more projects that we can sort of pick. I'd like to study some naval and some armor, and maybe even some theory. Probably not theory right away. And this is like military theory. This is just overall military theory. This is land theory, and this is naval theory, and this is air theory. But we're going to study, say, well, let's have a look at our Navy. What do we mostly have? So we've got a Navy here. This is the 2A Flotilla Somergibili. Yeah. So this is some submarines. I'm assuming Somergibili means submarine. More submarines over here. And here we've got a destroyer and 2 transports, so, you know, a transport fleet. In Venezia, I believe this is Venezia. Yes, in Venezia we have just simply a destroyer. Do we have more? We have a submarine, some light cruisers, destroyer. We have more in here. Heavy cruiser. We've got so many. Here's a big... This is like our biggest Navy. I've never played a country this big. I've mostly played small countries, so this is gonna... I am probably gonna get destroyed. But what we should be paying attention to is down here. Our militia should be able to take on the, So we've got 2 militia divisions here. 2 militia divisions here. Do we have any... So I'm assuming this is, Mogadiscio. Is that Mogadishu or Mogadisco? Hell yeah, Mogadisco. Okay. I should stop being silly. Back to the situation at hand. So, I'm assuming this is Mogadishu. It just has the name Mogadisco for some apparent reason. This is about the area that Mogadishu is in. I think Mogadisco is a little bit more of a silly name, but maybe that's what it was called at the time. And this is sort of the Tripoli area. Where is Tripoli? I have no idea. But anyways, actually it's important to switch to political map mode, and you can see that the Axis have different names. The Soviet Union and the Comintern have that sort of name. Well, that sort of font, that's the word. Each faction has a different font. The Allies have this sort of flat, boring font, and then, you know, normal people who aren't members of anything have this sort of Comic Sans-y font, I guess one might say. So this is Malta, which we want to take from the United Kingdom eventually. But yeah, we were looking at technology. I think I'm going to get some light cruiser upgrades. So, light cruiser engine, allow our light cruisers to move faster. I think that's a good thing to research. And armor, we want to get up to medium tanks, because medium tanks are quite nice. So let's get, in order for that we need all these at least 2, but we'll start studying light tank gun. So, which you can see is orange, which means it's being studied at half of what it needs to be. So we need 9, but it should be fine studying that at half speed. So that's the technology tab. Politics. As you can see, all our members are fascists. This is the PNF, which is okay, I'll just go over each area of the thing. So we are a fascist republic. We have no elections. That's fun. So our head of state is Vittorio Emanuele III. He's a wary stiff-neck, which means susceptibility to external pressure plus 5% and organization regain rate plus 5%. So basically, external pressure, you know, people can convince us of things easier, and our military organizes quicker, which is good. So we've got Mussolini. He's a flamboyant, tough guy, so tendency to drift due to internal factors. So this just, everything happens more, pretty much. If it's a tendency to drift in, I'm not 100% sure what that means. And the same thing from this guy, but he's an ideological crusader, but it gives the same thing. Armament Minister gives us plus 10% IC. I love this ability, and he is Guido Zheng, so maybe he's part Asian. And our Minister of Security is Guido Buffini Guidi, and I'm sorry I'm butchering these Italian names. He gives our leadership plus 5%. Head of Intelligence is Cesar Ame, and he gives our intel plus 20 industrial intel plus 20%, and I can replace these guys if I'd like. So these guys both do the same thing. We could just give Mussolini more power, but I don't think that's a good idea. We'll spread out our power. So Mussolini could be anything. We could make Mussolini do everything if we wanted, but I don't think that would be fair on him. I do love the Industrial Genius, but this guy is not a member of the Isnuzwip party. He's a member of the PNF or the Annie. No, he's a member of the Annie. Most of us are members of the PNF. The Nujwip is assuming I'm Nationalist Socialist something party. He's a member of the Annie, though, which you can see is not very popular. The I'm assuming it's Autocratic Nationalist Intelligence, something like that. But anyways, I like the IC plus 10%, so I'm going to keep him in there. Leadership modifier plus 5%. Mussolini would give the same thing, so we'll just spread out the power. And Caesar Ame, I think industrial intel is good. It'll see what our enemies are producing. So we've got these guys. We can't really control them, though I do like the supply consumption minus 10%. That's always good. And supply throughput plus 10%. That's good. So these are our civil laws. We have a totalitarian system, which gives us minus 4% to consumer goods during wartime, plus 25% to counterintelligence, plus 30% to the ruling party support, and plus 4 to partisan efficiency, which is not a good thing. And for military, we have service by requirement, so it increases our manpower and a bunch of other good stuff. I don't want to go too into detail. Total economic mobilization, massive education investment, heavy industry emphasis, propaganda press, and specialist training for our forces. We don't want there to be crap. And this just shows the popularity of different parties. These are the communists, you know, left-wing radicals and Leninists. The Stalinists are not popular at all. This is the social conservatives. They're pretty popular. And this is the social liberal and the market liberal, which are also pretty popular. But we won't change any of this stuff. I think it's all good. So, and here's where we can mobilize our army. We can liberate countries or create puppets or, you know, figure out what we're going to do in the countries we occupy. This is the intelligence tab. Our partisan efficiency is 4 because of that totalitarian system. And you know what? I normally control the intelligence myself, but for such a large country, I'm actually going to set it on AI control because, damn, I have no idea who we should be, you know, studying or whatever, so have the AI control this. I can come and look at some countries, you know, Germany, this is what I know about them, this is their popularity, this is their, and I can select what I should have my spies be doing. So, blah 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 is an armament minister, I already knew that. And here is our theaters, shows all our theaters of war, and these are our fronts, and whether we'll have any problem. If it's a green light, we should be able to defend them fine, and it looks like we can. This is our theater forces, and this is our imminent needs, which we've already seen in the production tab. So this is just to help you during times of war. And statistics, which we have no need of going into. So now I'm going to look at my military, and you must remember that the game has not even started yet. I am still setting up. That is how complex this game is. So we want to attack Ethiopia from the north and from the south. So we've got this pretty large group and this pretty large group. I do not like to attack with my HQs, so I will just, you know, select this and I will deselect the HQ, which is this. Oh, nope, that's not the HQ. this is the HQ. And we'll move those men, and we'll leave a division with the HQ to protect it. Each of these squares represents a division, so we're marching a pretty large force into Afira Terra. And I'm not going to try and pronounce these African names. So let's deselect our... Here, this is the HQ. No, it's not. Who is the HQ? Here's the HQ. We'll march everyone else into here. So we're taking over this area quite easily. This is their army, pretty much. I think we should be able to take them on. I'll move these guys here. How big is their army? 3 stacks. And our army is a simple... Oh, our army is more than 1. This is a 3... Nope. I did not mean to select them. Select this group. March you into here. This group. I think our 2 militias should be able to take on the Ethiopians. So we're going to try and take them on. Our militias may die, but they're just militias. They might even be from Africa, so if they are, who cares if they die or not? I'm not being serious. I'm just talking from, you know, an Italian perspective. I would be very sad if my militias died, but I'm sure that if they are, you know, African people, that the Italian heads would not really care, which is a sad thing. But anyways, we've gone through everything. The only people we're at war with is Ethiopia. These fronts seem fine. You know, Germany should annex Austria eventually. Spoilers, unless you've ever taken a history class, in which case it's not spoilers. Though, you know, with the current state of education around the world, I would not be surprised if you didn't know that. And, oh man, I just totally insulted you guys. I'm sure that my viewers are smart people, but, you know, they don't teach this stuff in history classes anymore. They just say Germany's bad, they hurt the Jews, which is both true. Well, not all of Germany, just the Reich. But they did hurt the Jews, and the Reich was bad. But, you know, they don't teach you much about World War II in history classes anymore. At least not until, like, college. But anyways, sorry for ranting there. I'm a sort of ranty person. So, what do we want to do? We want to start the game. So we're now moving at a very slow pace. We can speed it up. This is see, you can see the hours going by. These guys are engaging with them. We can look at the battle. We're losing. That's no good. We are doing pretty badly. That's no good at all. And man, I have been recording for a long time, and we've just started. You know, I'm going to speed it up a little bit more because what's the fun in just sitting around doing nothing? And now an hour is going by about every second. We're really losing this battle. You, march faster. These guys... Oh, France has done something. They have decided the Popular Front. We have not forgotten the night of the 6th of February 1943, which, to be perfectly honest, I do not know what happened then. It might have been some sort of revolt or something, because it says we have finally have a government on the United Left, and we will use this to heal the wounds left, and our new labor laws will bring greater peace to the French economy. So the French are happy. They remember something, and they're going to do something about it. So, good for the French. I hope they have fun with that. We're Italy, so we don't care about France, except for invading them, and which we will do when Germany declares war. We don't want to declare war by ourselves. That would just be stupid. But as you can see, we've got quite a few people on the front, so that's good. We got a decent-sized army on the